parent asks, I have a question about bearing weight in the hands for crawling. Our child is army crawling very fast and joyfully, and he is able for a while to move the hips and put the knees on the floor, but then he gets stuck because he doesn't know how to press the floor with his hands to be on all fours, and then goes back to army crawling. How can we help him to learn to push through the floor with his hands? Fantastic question. So their child isn't quite able to go from this into this, or from this into this. So they like to stay on the elbows. It just simply means that your child's brain doesn't have enough information to piece together how to get from here into here. Because if their brains had all of those pieces of information, they would be able to do it. So they're just simply missing some of these tiny pieces of information. Now the question is, what pieces of information are they actually missing? So this sometimes takes a little bit of detective work to see where is the missing information starting from. So the very first thing I would get curious about if he was in my office is he able to bear weight through the hands in different positions? Bearing weight through the hands in this position is only one possibility. This is another possibility. In this position here, can he do this position? And it sounds from the question that he's not quite there yet. So if he's not able to push through the arms in this lying down position, I would backtrack even further to see what position is he comfortable pushing through his hands. Because remember, if he could do it in this position, he would do it in this position. So if he's not doing it in this position, it just means this position is a little bit more challenging for him, and his brain doesn't have all those pieces to put together to do this. So let's backtrack to this position. If your child is comfortable in the snuggle position, or maybe sitting in your lap like this, do they push up against your chest with your hands or their elbows to push away and take a look at you? This position has all sorts of opportunities to start adding in that missing information that their brains just simply might be missing in a more demanding position like this. So this position here, if they are raising up their hands, pushing up against your chest to maybe push you away, you can play a silly game this way, like, oh, push mommy away. Whoa, oh no, mommy fell over. Here I come again. Push me away. One arm, the other arm. There's all sorts of fun games that you could play in this position that's less demanding than being on the stomach or on the knees, where they are still bearing weight through their hands and through their arms. So you could explore bearing weight through the arms just in this position here. I like to be on a couch and kind of slumped down. So here I'm taking it from an more upright position into a more demanding position for them, because remember, they weren't able to push through their arms in a position like this quite yet. But if they're able to do it in this position here, you can slowly recline yourself to up the demand and create those variations for their brain to start piecing it together, that, oh, hey, I can do it in this position, pushing mommy away in different, you can move the hand around. You could play a game, a high five game. You could play a different body part game, push my shoulder away, push my hand away, push my nose away. So they're bearing weight through their hands and their arms to push your body away or a silly object away, and you can turn it into a game. And you can up the demand by being in an upright position and then slowly reclining yourself. If you're lying up against the couch while you're watching TV, you could be doing this. So you're giving their brain quality information about bearing weight through their hands and their arms in a safer, more accessible position for them. Now, if they're not able to bear weight or push up against you in this position here, once again, it simply means their brain doesn't have enough information to make it happen. So we can backtrack even further and place them down in a lying down position like this on their backs. I love exploring movement with children in this lying down position. It takes all the demand off the brain to hold them upright, which holding our heads upright under the force of gravity takes a lot of brain energy. And if you're trying to learn a new skill like bearing weight through the hands, sometimes it's easier to start in a lying down position like this, so the brain doesn't have to think about holding ourselves upright. Basically, it frees up the brain to have more space to experiment and try new things and gather up that quality information so it can create a fuller picture of how to bear weight through the hands. So most kids will enjoy the game of pushing against mommy's hand as you slowly move your hands from side to side, up and down in different directions. And again, all of these tiny little micro movements are giving their brain the information it needs to be in this position here. Being in this position here, you can see as I rock my hips back and forth to maybe move forward in a crawling position, I'm bearing weight through my hands and arms, but I'm also shifting my weight in space. This movement here is the same movement as this here, just in a less demanding position for their brain to gather up that quality information that then they can transfer into the more demanding position, such as this one. So you can have fun playing the game push up against mommy's hands. Oh, you're pushing me away. Oh, you're pushing up. You're pushing down. You're pushing to the side. You're pushing away. You can also use fun objects or props to add another layer of variation to the movements. You can get them to push the book away, push the book above their head, push the book to the side. Okay, I hope that was helpful and gives you some ideas to try of different ways to bear weight in different, less demanding positions. Now, there's a second piece to the puzzle of being able to bear weight through the hands, is that the missing pieces for his brain to be able to do this might not actually be in the arms and the hands. Some of the missing pieces might be there, but his brain also might have missing pieces in the shoulder, the spine, the ribs, and the pelvis. To be able to coordinate coming up from the elbows onto the hands and the knees in this position here is a full body experience. So don't forget to keep exploring the movements of the pelvis, the spine, the ribs, and the sternum, and the shoulder that connect the whole body together to make that movement functional. And again, those are all the basic movements that are inside your mindful movement program in those individual sections of pelvis, spine and ribs, and shoulder section. Now, if your child has any type of spasticity in the arm that you think might be preventing them from bearing weight through the arm, go check out my other video all about reducing spasticity in the arm, and I'll see you in the next video.